Chainlink update for a 10% move so far today, back above $15. So we're going to look at the daily chart to start us off with. Then we're going to zoom out to the weekly, look at the macro, give you some key levels to be watching for and my opinions on what's to come next. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Twitter, Telegram, and Patreon for more content. And we cover a lot of extra stuff in our Patreon group. If you want to stay up to date on all the extras, altcoins, Tether dominance, Bitcoin dominance, all that good stuff and more on a daily basis, check it out. All right, so Chainlink on the daily. We're coming up to our zone here. And this is a big pivot level zone. This is where we will start to gain momentum. And you see the previous high here, the high here. That's the reasoning for the zone. And I would actually like to argue that there's a little bit more. I would extend the ceiling to around $16. You have your 200-day EMA there in the pink, where we last kind of held it as support and we flipped it to resistance here. And we haven't tested it again since late February. So that is, I would put the zone from, 15 and a quarter to 16. If we can do that and start to flip this as support and get out of here, then I like our chances of making a bigger move to the upside. And why do I think that that is more likely than not? I'm glad you asked. Let's look at a key and my favorite indicator to look at for divergence, and that's on balance volume OVV. So if we look at our line chart, and we've been talking about this a lot in our Patreon group, if you're in there, looking at divergences here. Well, look at the price, the blue line. Let's make this easier. Let's remove the moving averages and remove the Bollinger Bands. Right? What are we going to look at here? Well, if we look at the price in the blue, putting in a lower low, and then we look at the on-balance volume in the green, putting in a higher low. This is bullish divergence, right? The volume is saying you're going to likely increase. And guess what? Here we got our new high, our start of our uptrend right after this happened. Higher low, indicating bullish divergence, and we're seeing that play out right now. And not only that, but look at the higher highs on the volume here. Volume OBV is making much higher highs than even we got back here. Prices were at $26, and we're getting much more of an indication of higher highs coming. Pretty good sign. And if you're been asleep at the wheel for Link, well, you might get woken up here shortly. So flip 16. And I think we've got a case to be made of a bigger move on the horizon. Next target, just take out $20. And that's been what we've been talking about in pretty much every damn video. $20. Get it back on here. And OBV indicating that's a maybe greater than not possibility. And then we can, pick up and shut up. Bollinger Band's pinching up here. Let's flip that median line and hold it, right? We've been unable to really do that. We got above it here, came back below it, below the 21. We're just trying to not spin our tires. That's what we have been doing. Trying to gain traction. That's what we need to do. And to do that, if we come down here in the next day or two, Bitcoin cools off. Bitcoin dominance is falling. Tether dominance is falling. Everyone's coming back to the market. They're not going to Bitcoin per those indicators. So altcoins could start to do very well, Chainlink included. But we've got to, respect structure and get above 16 and respect the 21 and hold that as support if we move back down. That's currently at 1410, that 21 EMA right there. Okay, so Gaussian channel, let's check in on that. We haven't flipped it green yet, but it's very close. And if we turn back on the candles, well, look what's happening here. We're starting to turn more bullish by definition for the first time in a long time. We got to go back to January, right? You got to look for the anomaly, right? On balance volume greatly increasing. Price action starting to turn more bullish by definition. $16, right? Gets us above the Gaussian channel. A lot starts to go our way here. We're not far, so don't lose sight now. Okay, let's zoom out to the weekly now. Look at where we are. Big level, right? This is that zone on the daily. Another key pivot, right? Let's get rid of it because there's too much noise there. What do we have here? The median Gaussian channel here holding as resistance. Really, since our big downfall candle, 20% negative, got us below there. right? Big missile. Resistance, 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 resistance. Every time we've tested it. Guess where we start to gain traction? If we can damn close above that. On the weekly scale, we're looking to close above 1527 as of this week. The 21 EMA is also right there. Guess what $16 does? Gets us above all of that. 16 is the start of the uptrend, right? That's where we really start to confirm it. This week could be that crack in the ice for the bears, and then we really start to pick up momentum. Here's our high, right? Let's remove the Gaussian channel and look at it, right? We're just kind of maintaining here. This is our breakthrough week potentially, especially if we can somehow close over 1563, that 21 EMA. I would expect bigger things sooner than later. Our next major zone higher, like that, remember that $20 we talked about? Well, look at all this. Range high, range lows, right? It's really our only green candle. If 2025, right before as we're falling down here, right in there, right? Get above this zone. 16 is the first step. 19 to 20, next step, right? Get above here. Then, local highs and then some. That's what we're looking at. If we want to look at our Fibonacci from our current, swing high to low. Let's do a rough estimate here. Our 618 gets us to, you guessed it, new all-time highs. Almost $62. That's a great starting spot, right, to get up here, right? We have until, I would say loosely at the end of the year, right? That's what I'm looking for. If we drag this zone out just to give you a better kind of picture, I think we could easily get to $60 by the end of the year, right? Looking at it from a macro scale on the weekly, there's your picture. So the end of this zone is 2026, assuming Bitcoin's going to new all-time highs, which, I mean, by all looks like it to me. Watch my Bitcoin video I just put out on YouTube as well to look for, the signs of where we'd solidify a new, kind of bullish uptrend and start that kind of like similar to, the $16 and $20 levels for Chainlink. I have certain levels like that for Bitcoin that I lay out, and we're kind of there right now for Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's going to do well, Chainlink going to do well. Okay, I don't know what accent that was. That's Chainlink wrapped up. Let's go to the monthly real quick and look at from the bigger picture. Now look at these Bollinger Bands really pinching up, probably the tightest ever for Chainlink. Maybe this has been just a long, slow build before a bigger move. So the 1618, maybe that comes pretty quick. Like a big move like this, get us back at least to all-time highs for the monthly scale. That's at only $38, right? We could do that like on their next big move. Okay, we're knocking on the door of the 3.8 right now as we speak. Overcome, that $17 to $20 level. Look at the 618, previous highs back here. It's going to take off, right? Move back down after the move higher, moves back to the 50-week, 50-month. Move back higher, back down, wick down to the 50-month. Move back higher. Right, our next move should take us well over 30 when we do make it. And all we need is Bitcoin dominance to chill, Bitcoin to remain bullish, and we will see the green as you're seeing today. Here's the start, right? This is a pretty good. That's pretty close to a hammer candle or a dragonfly doji. A little bit bigger of a body, but a bullish candle nonetheless. And we'd like to see some follow through in the next couple of weeks, get us back to that upper Bollinger Bands at 2250, and then all bets are off, right? Back into kind of price discovery for this cycle. Looking at last cycle, right? This will come as soon as we can, those two checkpoints, 16 and 20, and the Band-Aid comes off. Chainlink breaks free. All right, just look at the prices, right? Higher highs, higher lows. Structurally, in an uptrend, nothing's changed. Slow moving, you bet your ass. But maybe not for much longer. If Bitcoin dominance continues to fall, Bitcoin remains bullish. The Chainlink horse may catch up. All right. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you liked, what you want to see more of. Anything else, requests, join our Patreon group. Happy to help you. And for the rest of this cycle, right? Helping you out is my main goal. All right, quote of the day. If you don't think about your future, you cannot have one. It seems a little harsh and a little just downright mean. My favorite car of all time, the Pagani Cinque Roadster. If I had Monopoly dollars and money was no object, I would definitely have one of these or two. Look at that. 5 mil. I think they're about 5 mil if you're lucky enough to get one. Let's scroll down and just take a look at everything. I like the Roadster. Holy hell. I'll take that color. Yes, please. Or in Chainlink blue. That'd be good. See if we got any other colors. Look at the rear. That's the exhaust. Oh my god. It's just drool. It's just like art rolling. It's like 20 years old too. If you can believe that. So, pretty impressive. Alrighty. I'll see you on the next one.